Let him speak. I'm not justify why I'm calling small brother, but we are partners. We are partners, and we have not betrayed our coalition partners. Again, if you're very keen, a number again and again, they have worked out. Today they're working with Wamunyoro, that is the second deputy president of Kenya, and other people. And we never questioned their working relationship with their new friends. That is one. Second, when maybe they felt dissatisfied, but again on their leadership, Stephen Kalonzo's party, Eugene Wamalwa's MPs are still engaged and involved in the committees and the leadership of the House as the minority party in the House. That's the Azimio. But now when we come to the NADCO report implementation, that's where tukitaja pale tukisema that the donation, though we'll cut short kidogo on the donation. I think we remember then when Dr. William Samoei Ruto had his first cabinet. No, he didn't appoint those who were qualified. He was giving them the political cronies, the merits. It was not on the merit, but it was a reward. So I think at some point the president had to relook on its appointments. And I think when he extended the olive branch and consulted the statesman RAILA Odinga on what to be done, he gave him technocrats and professionals to run the ministry that maybe at that point things were not okay. Like I think today we are waiting to see the 2025-2026 finance bill that is being drawn by Mbadi. So we want to see maybe the difference. Even me as a ODM member, a young Kenyan, I'm also waiting to see the difference that is going to come from the new leadership that we are having today, because we are in the broad-based arrangement government where the minority have been picked to help the majority run the government. But again, what we're having today is not we are not the only country having it. At some point you'll agree with me or disagree with me that before I become a member of ODM party, before that other person becomes a member of WIPA, UDA or Jubilee, I am a Kenyan. And if a state calls me to go serve it, why must I bow it out? Just like a soldier, why must I bow out from serving my state? We must remain patriotic. The party position, the party ideology can't be superior over statesmanship and patriotism.
Thank you very much. There's something you said. I want to get you back to that. You said previously President Ruto had rewarded people for positions.
Yeah, it was a reward.
The people that you so-called technocrats that Raila Odinga gave to Ruto, wasn't he equally rewarding his own friends? And don't we have Governor, former Oparanya, former Governor Kakamega, Hassan Joho, former Governor, his own people, right? And these are people during his campaign, he had actually, even before he got power, he had also appointed them and given them positions. You have Mbadi and former nominated MP, So, in fact, all the people that Raila Odinga has given to William Ruto are all rewards. Donated. According to him. Yes, okay, the ones you have donated by your words, hasn't he just rewarded his own? And even the latest nominations, I'm look at the NTSA chair. You have former MP Mwashetani. That was somebody who was with William Ruto during his campaigns. So what has changed? Because Ruto is still rewarding his friends, and Raila Odinga has donated rewards from his friends. So what's changed?
Before you answer that, what changed with the leadership and what has changed in those ministries?
Thank you. First, we are going to agree that even in the political space we are professionals and we are technocrats. John Mbadi is a CPA, that's a qualified CPA. And let me use John Mbadi for a good example, and maybe CS alias Anjo and Opanya, the three. Though we also have a school from Turkana, who are Maramingo.
I know the lady. Yes, I know a school.
So I
know Wandai is in energy.
Wandai is in energy.
And we still have power outages.
So when you talk about us having these people going to government, first, this was a government in waiting. We must agree that Raila Odinga have made a government in waiting in 2022 before we had the oath, or before the court dismissed our petition, because we all know we won the election then. We still hold it so dear to us. So then Joho was to be the minister of land. If people can remember, it was unveiled. John Mbadi was to be the minister of finance then in our government that we were to form.
Not apparently.
That's the government in waiting. Let me talk about the government in waiting that we were to form. Oparanya, I can't remember his position. John Mbadi was told not even to vie for a governor in Omambi County, and he stepped down for that, and he waited. And then Oparanya, Joe, they had finished their term. But besides that, I think at some point the country need not only seasoned but experienced statesmen to help us stabilize. At that point, we needed those who are experienced to help us stabilize the country. I'll tell you that the country was shaken. With the press that we have on this street, not only in Nairobi, but it was all over the country. It was shaken to the core. And we could see that day when President William Ruto was giving his press briefing pale akiwa State House, akitwita majambazi na hizo majina zote yenye labda siwezi nikataja hapa leo. The country and the state was shaken to the core. So at that point when Raila Amolo Odinga and ODM party were donating maybe these 5 technocrats to help us stabilize the country, have a Kenya back, we gave not only qualified but also experienced statesmen who could hold country back to its position. There's a question of Vax Alan on the reward on.
Talked about the rewarding, the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
Then I asked, I did a question.
Yeah.
What difference has
the difference,
that made in these ministries? Because Kenya is still where it was. Today I heard that Trump has put 10% tariffs on Kenyan products that are going to the US. And Mbadi himself said that one doesn't. Is it Mbadi who? I'm getting this right. I'll get this right. That doesn't affect the Kenyan shilling at any point.
We wait to see how the dollar and the
remember Mbadi is a CP, a qualified CP.
Yeah, exactly. So we wait to see
certified.
These are certified.
The public accountants. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So what change has been there?
The change today, I think it will be. I think it will be very premature today. Maybe to have a yardstick into it. But on my end, as a young person, a Kenyan, Raila Amolo Odinga and the party position, we were told that we give them a chance to serve Kenya in the next 2 years, 2026, 2027. We'll see if they shall not have delivered. We need to see the report card, the scorecard. You are given a chance to be there. What did you do? That is one. Second, before 2027, say a change now.
Yeah.
My dear states
from
people,
last year.
Yeah, my dear states people, we must agree that on my end, at a personal level, we must agree that a little, or I'll say that the change cannot be felt yet. I'll tell you that. The economy is still
the change cannot be felt by the leadership. However, the effects of poor leadership, Mwananchi is feeling it.
It's being
in fact, it is getting worse. So how is it that we put you in a seat, we cannot feel the change, however, we continue to hurt and we continue to be taxed?
Another thing. Feeling the positive change, but we are feeling the negative change is
Mbadi spoke passionately about taxes, and I remember even during his interview in Parliament, he spoke passionately about taxes. And yet, what has changed about us being taxed? And with the taxes we are delivering to KRA, people are still complaining of harassment. You see, so what happened to service delivery?
You see, first, it was so unfortunate for me to be here to defend a government that we never put in place. This government were given by Kenyans.
Let me talk about the donations.
I'll talk about donation, but I'm not going to talk about a donation in a quarter, but they are serving the interest of all Kenyans and the government of the day.
And that's what
we asked for the change.
The change question is what we really want to know. You said you donated the qualified.
Yes.
And you gave us a certified CPA.
Yes.
To take care things to do with finances.
Treasury, yeah.
Yes. To take care of things of finances. So we expected the moment the certified guy who has all that experience, as you said, the once he comes in, he has to make everything right with him.
No. Because it is a period, Alan. So, when Kibaki came in, no, change cannot happen in a day. This thing is a process. Let me talk. No, you people now are going to overwhelm me if I'm not keen. If I become soft, I'm not talk here. Because we know change cannot be felt in a day. Change is a process. In fact, John Mbadi, I've not even presented the first budget that is having us there. So can we wait?
But even in that first budget, is it recently I heard the president say, talk about that we reject, the GNZ rejected the first budget, but he has found a way to rebring the very things that he's so sure that those things will...
Leaving alone the donations, yeah? Let me get back to what you're talking about, ideologies and everything. For a long time, most Kenyans have associated Raila Odinga with fighting for the rights of Mwananchi and everything, yeah? You've said you were in the streets and everything. After the handshake has happened, the broad-based government, we are still seeing abductions going on. We are still seeing a variety of all ill manner of things happening. So yet the very man who used to speak against these things, because you said Baba is a statesman, so when the statesman comes in play, we expect a stop to all these things. We are still seeing a lot of femicide cases. We are still seeing abductions happening. Young people are still disappearing left, right and center. Why hasn't there been a stop to all this madness?
If you check the 10-point
the NADCO report.
No. I'm talking about the BBG now. If you check, it was on the NADCO report, but on the implementation of the broad-based government signed MOU, the 10 points, that's one of the points that Baba Raila Odinga have stressed on not once, not twice. Raila can only advise. He may not act. It's not having the state powers to act to some of these things. That is one. From the party position where we are. How many times have we talked about it and advised the president of the day to stop the abduction? President again, akiwa pale Sagana juzi amesema that the abduction will not be there. So we Kenyans, from my end, we have been having talking president, yes. He's a good talker. So we are waiting. And we are seeing, we are watching to see if truly is going to live by its words to stop not only the abduction but even the unnecessary police brutality that we may be meeting on the streets. Because I'm pretty sure even after the GNZ protests, we have been having a number of the protests in the city. Some of them have been part of.
But that is what we are asking.
You get. So maybe you want to put Raila Odinga on a task, but he's not the commander-in-chief. He can't call the...
But now the commander-in-chief says, I reached out to him because I realized we need to hold hands to be able to do this work, yeah?
So Raila Odinga can advise...
Where is even the accountability of the people who have been involved in the abductions? Where all we're just seeing is cases which are really being prolonged. Where are the prosecutions?
I am from MDD. Also, there's a movement within the ODM party, and there's a matter that even the past weeks we addressed again. Not even after this, maybe we'll even address it again. That these things must come to stop, to an end.
Why are they even happening in the first place?
That's the first thing. Why must we abduct young people, and why must we kill young people? Why must they?
Because you say Raila Odinga fought for this constitution. That I will not take away. That I will not take away from him.
Why must we discuss Raila Odinga year in, year out? We are going to talk Raila Odinga. That is one. Let me peri kidogo tu. Raila Odinga presented this candidature for this country 5 times, but the Kenyan people and the judiciary and some state, let me put it, some institutions have always robbed him off or turned his candidature off, and then after the government of the state, not the government, but some institutions giving Kenyans a government, they come back to blame it on Raila Odinga. We are here again now, instead of discussing Ruto, who is the commander-in-chief, who is the head of government, who is the head of the state. We are discussing Raila Odinga, statesman. It's not discussing the person who is in charge of this thing. That is not in charge.
Thank you for it. And I'm glad, because you said you're a youth league.
Yes.
I appreciate the passion. I can see the passion. I really like that passion. And you see, in leadership, because we told you we're going to discuss leadership and politics, you come from ODM, so there's no way you'll sit here as an ODM member and we don't bring Raila Odinga. There's no way.
No, this is irrelevant questions.
There's only one for
you see, because you see this, and you see, we have to put it in place, because you're here for ODM. If you had come from another party, we would have asked them what their party leader is doing. You see,
but we only have one party. We only have one party leader movement. That's Raila Odinga.
That is according to you. That is according to you. We will not negate. Yes, exactly. That is according according to him.
Which will be sooner.
Yes.
Which will be sooner.
Yeah.
We'll have you as the party like
But why I will bring him up is because we know the politics of Kenya, and as I've told you, we cannot take it away that the freedom of speech and a number of things that we enjoy. I don't like castigating. I don't like just saying negative things for the sake of name or to be popular. As a channel, of course, we have the responsibility to our viewers and everybody else to put the truth out there. 2010 Constitution, we must agree. Even the right to protest and everything, the many benefits we enjoy today that come from the Constitution, Raila Odinga has fought for them. That we cannot negate. You understand? It is him that will never be taken away from him. Well, I don't believe in the politics of hatred, whereby even if somebody has done something good, just because you hate him, you decide to overlook the good things he has done. But you see now, in spirit of the same Constitution, the Constitution he fought for has a number of good things which this government has deliberately ignored and overlooked. And you see now why I put to task is because now him, the very person who fought for the Constitution, through his political party has formed a broad-based government with the ruling government. And that is why we ask then, Mzee, you fought for this, now you've gone to bed with this government. So now that you're with this person, why are families still crying on the issues of femicide? The other day is when I have seen the president appointing a CS for gender. The position has been vacant for very
Those
long.
Are the advices we are offering
and
there.
I'm asking, and sorry to say, I am asking, the wife of the late senator for Baringo, Mrs. Cheptumo, has since been given that position. So again, you are talking about rewards. So that does not sound like a reward.
I think first.
Can't you just advise the president? And I'm not questioning her competence. No, I'm just wait. I'm not questioning her competence. She might be competent enough to do it. But the question is, now that you're in with this guy, broad-based government, you've said Raila Odinga is advising. Why, if he's advising and the president said, I am working with him, why aren't we seeing the change?
Okay. Raila Odinga from AUC, I think today is less than 4 months, if I'm not wrong. No, 2 months. Okay. 2 months. Meaning his advisory that has been offering to the state and the president has been there maybe for now 2 months. Personally, from our end and from the youth league and my fellow youths in the country, we are waiting to see a lot, because the advisor may advise the advisee, but now it's the president upon president to choose to implement the advices that is being given by Raila Odinga or to ignore. That is one. You may advise him, but what if he fails to implement? So I think at the end of the day, the bus stops by the president. The other end
stops with him.
It stops with him. That's one. Second, on the rewards as you are putting it, I think when you may say, for quite a long time you have never earned the gender.
The CS gender. The CS, vacant,
So I think these are some of the loopholes that, with Raila Odinga coming in and the ODM party talking with the government of the day, there are these loopholes that can be fixed. Tukianza pale nyuma nilisema, and we can check it again, that can we fix these things from within? Because for quite a long time, mimi nimekula tiaga cha kutosha. I'm very young for that. So can we try to fix this country from within? And if possible, again, can we be able to not only complain but offer solutions patriotically for our country? We don't have any other country we are going to run away from. We have said that abduction must stop. Those things that we don't even need to negotiate about.
They don't even need to exist.
Things we don't need to talk about here. In fact, when today in the morning when I was checking the EFF from South Africa protesting, the police escorts them protesting. Why must you? And it's a right. Why must you beat them, tear gas them unnecessarily? And they're armless. They only have
no accountability.
They only have water. There's nothing. That is one. Why must we have young people, the young ladies, the famous thing, young ladies disappearing and reappearing in casket? It's so unfortunate.
In body parts.
And body parts.
And we are told there is a gender working group.
So that is something that needs an overall and turnaround. To me today, I think that things, in as much as we are here, we don't need to discuss them, sincerely speaking. And we wait for this government of the day. It will not be about who was with who. It will be about, did you implement? Did you do the rightful? I know 2027, Vijana and other patriots will be out on the ballot to vote. So the next 2 years will determine the place of the government of the day. And we must agree there. Another thing that we must also agree on, respectfully, this party ODM, I think to date it's not the longest, because we have KANU and those other political parties, but for the past 20 years has been the most vibrant party in the country since its interception in 2005. And it has been known for, as we are putting it, for being on the street, the protest, standing against the oppressive, not about the government, but the oppressive agenda that may come from the government. Because we've seen standing against the government. They've been mtetezi wa wanyonge. So that's how they've portrayed themselves. Not portraying, but that's what we have been. That's what we stand for. Even on our documents, on our deals, and so on. So maybe today, coming into term with William Samoei Ruto and this UDA party, it appears like it was a bad, dark marriage to a number of Kenyans and young people who may fail to understand it. At a CC pale, not all of us at first were agreeing with the working relationship of the party ODM and the UDA. That is one. But again, at the end of the day, my individual views may not surpass the party position. And the old knows the way, but we the young have the energy to work on that way. We must just find a way how we are going to work with these veterans, the seasoned leaders that we have been having in the country, to show us the way forward with our energy marinated in it. Nikimalizia hiyo part tu kidogo. Hii chama yetu ya chungwa is still pro people. Maybe at some point may appear unpopular decision, but let me put it in this. We remember when Raila Amolo Odinga joined hand with the KANU, that is then it was NDP, and was made the SG for the KANU. In 2002, when Baba walked out of KANU, that was the scrambling and the end of KANU regime. I don't know whether the playbook may be played again, so we never know. We say it's a Gwambo, it's mysterious one. We may wait.
You said it's mysterious, huh? Agwambo is mysterious.
Agwambo is mysterious. Agwambo is mysterious. Now in Kizungu.
Oh, in Kizungu.
In Kizungu.
Yeah.
In the Luo is Agwambo. Okay. So Agwambo, in the mysterious one, we never know. Politics is very dynamical. So and that's why the other day Baba said in Kiambu, telling William that you kuna kazi kufanya, you have a job to do, you have assignment to deliver here. If he couple 2027, we look on that scorecard as a party and as a people of Kenya.
Amuta yangalia kama partners in broad-based government.
Tutaanga nimesema hapo vizuri. Tutaangalia kama chama cha ODM that have we delivered. It promised on better. You people remember
so better? You have donated in people, but come 2027,
yes, exactly.
You divorce yourself.
Even those ones who, if they fail to deliver, even those ones who they fail to deliver, at the end of the day, we want service to be delivered.
But as you audit him,
we load it
and the service delivery does not meet the threshold that is needed. So won't you be part of the blame because you have donated in part of your people? And so if he hasn't performed, it is inclusive of your donations, as you put it.
We are expecting that the ones that we have given him and I think for the past after our 5 donations, he also William talked to the 4th president, that is Uhuru Kenyatta, and we also saw there were other appointments and shuffling in the cabinet. Where Mutai came in, we had Lee Kinyanjui,
the likes of Kabogo, yeah, they all
nobody talks about them yet. It's okay. I know is it lazima watu waongelee. You see chama kubwa. So we are expecting that even after the reshuffling, because William have been trying to, I think when he came into power, he was not having having a plan.
And
but
that-
they don't
that-
have a
that's the
plan.
next
So
question
we
I
are
want to
waiting to see all this reshuffling these guys have been trying to bring on board. We don't know the side that they are going to stand on. We as ODM party are still the minority party in both houses, and we're still having our identity as the, let me put it in quote, as opposition as well, still. But we must agree that if they'll fail, despite where they are standing, we want service delivery. We are not here to sugarcoat them, massage them.
So for that now the individuals will be questions, not the party.
No, those are individuals, not the party.
So now don't know the party. But these individuals still in the very party.
No.
Also having a say in the very party.
They say, no. Let me put this clear. When Joho, Junet, John Mbadi, the three, they were on the top rank leadership of the party. When Joe left, Oparanya left, they resigned, and their positions were taken by Simbarat, you remember, Nasir wa Mombasa, and also Geoffrey Swords. And then Wanga stepped in where Mbadi was as the party chairperson. So they resigned from the party and even the party position. They couldn't serve the government of the day and still remain members of the ODM. I'll tell you again a good example of my brother.
They resigned in party positions, or they resigned in party and positions and the party as well.
You can be a party member and still serve the government. But you can't be.
No, we needed that clarification.
We
needed the clarification that they have just resigned from their positions, but they remain
They're party members.
Okay.
They're party members.
Okay.
But again, we must argue that today they don't have a say in the party because they are not in the party leadership. They're not in the party leadership. Joe is not having a say in the party. John Mbadi is not having a say. It's Wangu is the party chairperson. Okay. It is today Simbarati who is the deputy party leader. It is today Nasir and
Sotsi.
So these are the people who are today on the top rank leadership who decides and gives the directives from the party. Not those people. They resign from their party position. I was giving an example of my brother, the appointee PS Fikirini. Jacobs. He's a party member, yes. But the other side is going to serve the people of Kenya patriotically.
Yeah.
So I doubt if there's any problem someone belonging to a political party. It's their democratic right. Belonging to a political party and serving the government. I doubt kama kuna shida. Sidhani.
Now, to cool down your tempers because Now let me ask you, General
yes.
There was a Gen Z movement, and from the Gen Z movement, initially it was tribalist, partyless, leaderless, and everything.
And
but we've seen an upsurge in a lot of tribalism, tribal anecdotes, and war drums being beaten left, right, and center. What are your thoughts about that?
I want to be very sincere with you, people, that all politics are local. This one I've said time and time again. I'm not fearing it even here. I always use the example of the most mature democracy in the world, that is the USA. When they're going for their politics and election, they always go aligned on the skin of your color.
The race card.
The race card. Here at home, we are subdivided or segregated into the tribal thing. At the end of the day, I fall into a tribe, and it's not a mistake. That's one. And during the Gen Z, I think the state, I'll put it this way, the state tried cards four. First, during the Gen Z, kuna ile ilikuja the rich and the poor. That failed because we have never been divided on that line. I think William tried it with the Hustler versus them, and what for him during the election, the dynasty and the Hustlers. But during the Gen Z, that one failed. Then they brought the religion one. Wao vijana wanaandamana ni wa Illuminati. I remember tuliitwa vijana wa Illuminati. Wanabudu mashetani. Hiyo pia ikafail. And then there was another one, which one again? There were around 4, but the one that have worked perfectly, not only for disseminating this thing, putting it into cool, is the tribal one. At the end of the day, you must agree that 2027, if in as much that may be enlightened politically, today we don't have a party apart from one that is trying to build party on a proper ideological ground that can say that we stand for this and this and this. Hiyo ni ya kwanza.
You have 90 registered political parties, and for a party to be registered, there has to be the representation of diversity. Yeah.
Countrywide.
So, yeah, countrywide.
So that is one.
So all those parties have that.
Yeah, they have it. I've talked about ideology.
They all have ideologies. Otherwise, the RPP, the registrar can't register you. But just tell me, what I want is your feeling generally.
My feeling, that's what I'm giving.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm giving. And again, you must also agree with me, maybe kidogo too, on the same, that the party list thing was undoing to the Gen Z movement, which I was part of, because we can't capture state power.
So you were part of the movement while you were still in ODM?
Exactly. Members of ODM on the street.
Okay.
That was a generational call.
Okay.
That was my generational
so you answered to your generation.
Exactly.
Not to your party.
Not to your
Nyinyi mnanichanganya jameni. So ukisema Gen Z pale hakuna mwenye alikuwa na chama. Unajua mnashangaza.
But it was a party.
No.
Leaderless, partyless.
I know a number of those people there. So acha sasa ni assume sasa wenye walikuwa pale wako na tribe.
Of course, no, we are Kenyans, and in fact, it is our tribes. Even as we sit here, it is our tribes. No, not disillusion. Let me finish. It is our tribes that makes Kenya beautiful.
Exactly.
Diversity.
That is the same thing. Very, please. You have to ask me a question. Allow me to answer these questions. Being partyless was biggest undoing, and you must agree. When they are singing they are partyless and they were not organized. They couldn't capture state power. That's why RAILA would have to step up for power not to go to the military.
You have gone back to RAILA
Nakurudi hapo. When they were on the street, people were saying that they were tribeless. Were they tribeless? They were not tribeless. It's the same thing. We're saying they're partyless.
They are saying they were tribeless as a movement because the movement encompassed.
That thing was online.
It encompassed of people from different communities. So as we are seated in this room, we are people from different communities.
I'm not tribeless.
No, you don't. Individually, you're not tribeless. But as a whole, you cannot. If you're 5 people from 5 different communities.
Niko na wajibu hapa. Mkanichanganya hapa. Mkasema leader.
No, you're talking about the Gen Z movement. And you're castigating them and you are part of it.
I'm part of it. And that's najibu. I'm answering from what I've been part. You see the
So you didn't agree with some of the ideologies.
Acha nijibu please. Sinijibu.
Okay.
Ama niache. The thing is, in fact, when we're talking about in the Gen Z, I was a member and among the National Coordination Committee. Let me tell you now. This thing I've never said.
Gen Z had a committee.
Siacha nijibu jamani. Sina kujibu. Kuna kitu Kasmela aliongelea that he was spokesperson. Kama mnakumbuka alikuwa na spokesperson ya nini?
And they refused. I remember the rest refused.
Acha nimalize. Alikuwa spokesperson ya nini? We were with him there. That is one. When the Gen Zs were out on the street, they were out on a purpose. And all these things we don't talk about tribeless, partyless, leaderless. I can't be leaderless. We can't be leaderless. That is we are not narcissist, but that one we are. It makes sense. You can't be leaderless. Even there we must have a
Jared,
let's be realistic. But the thing is that we must agree on is that the Gen Zs were out on a purpose. In fact, one thing that stood out clearly from the Gen Z movement was good governance. If we are supposed to talk about these are the many things that we need to address, not just coming to discuss tribeless, leaderless, and partyless, which was the biggest, sometimes I think was the biggest undoing for that movement, for that rallying call. And this thing, ukiangalia today the British lower house, they have the youngest I think crown of leaders today in that house, but they are getting it clear because they are belonging to a political party. They're organized.
In the House of Commons.
In the House of the Commons. They're organized. So send to the country here. You can say that you want to get into the parliament and you're leaderless. You can say that you want to get into the parliament today and you're partyless. How will it can't work out? It can't work out.
So your feeling is there needs to be a party.
We must be organized. Morada tried to register a party.
Inject.
It was only online and WhatsApp groups.
It was only online on an X.
we would love to host Morara Kebaso for him to have your feeling as well. Yeah.
So again, we'll agree with him that even the Gen Zs felt that they need to belong to political party. I think after the Gen Z movement, we have seen a number of people trying to use the political parties. We must
of which we have seen the register give at least, is it 26 provisional certificates?
Yeah, 26. So that shows, Perry, that they agreed that we ought to belong to a political party, and we can't have a political party without having a leader. So we must have a leader. We can't be leaderless. But your party tribalists, I'll agree, it is good, yes, for a proper campaign. But can we have our state diversified? But on the leadership, we have things done. Like when you are going to prosecute,
we appreciate our diversity. Yeah,
exactly. When a good example, like today, if you're going to prosecute me, I don't need to tag my tribe because
be judged for your actions, yeah, and not your community.
Exactly, exactly. So that's some of the things that even the Gen Zs ourselves, me personally, I was on the street, yes, and I've been on the street, but then I was in a political party. And when I say that was a generational conversation, a generational call, it was my generation. I think tukianza pia pale nyuma. We remember Alisa, I think the name, like something like that, that Baba Kanyumbani, something like that.
Yeah, the young lady who said, Baba, you have fought for Kenya.
You remember, I think after 1 week, the lady tried to register something political party and so on. Then if I can
remember she was castigated.
Alijaribu sana, she registered a political party, because they also felt like we need to belong to a political party of our own. But again, me today, why am I falling in ODM? Why am I in a political party? That's I think the question that, OYIE, why are you in a political party? The reason is we need to organize ourselves properly if we truly need to capture power as a generation. But again, we can't capture power on a generation, yes. That now the old people waende. Not all of them are bad. We know that there are those who have been trying to do their best. A good example later we mitaja hapa, one of our the SG of ODM party who have stood, who have outstand that he believes in something that the party believes into, and those are some of the principles that me as Commissar Jared OYIE I also believe in. We are not cows. There are things that sometimes we question. We are not pushovers. There are things that we need to, like from ODM Youth League, need to, it is a semi-autonomous organization within the party. So we can sit down and discuss and also give our deliberation through our president who sits in the Central Management Committee and all other organs, that this is what the youth of the party are feeling. So we are not just pushover that we are there to clap, we are not just there to be pushed, we are not just there to escort. We are here to also have the divergent opinions and thoughts captured in the party.
Now, let me ask you a question. I'm very glad you said that. And you're not focusing on ODM. Now, this is for you as a leader in youth. You live in Nairobi. You mentioned Karen Ward and everything. Governor for Nairobi, Sakaja. He's elected. He's an UDA elected governor. I saw party leader preferring him, your party leader Raila Odinga, saying niko na kijana for 2027. But that notwithstanding, what is your take? Do you think the governor has performed?
Governor Sakaja haven't performed as was expected, and we'll agree that I work. It's not working. Imekata.
And if it's not working, and Raila Odinga stands for things, why would he prefer him then?
So let me give you, umeniuliza kama mimi ni mkaji wa Nairobi, hata mimi ni mwanachama wa ODM. Nikisema pale mwanzo that there are things that we may disagree with respectfully. Like today, the governor Sakaja in Nairobi will say that this thing's not working, as he was saying it. I work. This thing's not working. In fact, even some of the toilets in City Hall, it's not even they're not even working. You can't even flush them. It's not working. Leave alone upper downtown. So it's not working. That is one. Second, Baba have not endorsed Sakaja. I think that day we had the prayers at Bomas. It was Silas prayer. Then he was going for
the women were praying for him as he
I was at Bomas that day as well. Yeah. So even when we were talking there, I was there physically one-on-one. There was no endorsement that he has been endorsed. Again, besides that, we have qualified ODMers.
So what did he do?
Kidogo nimaliza. We have qualified ODMers or ODM members who are capable to run Nairobi. We have Tim Wanyonyi, we have Babu Owino. Those are the two who have shown interest for Nairobi. And when that time comes for our party, I'm pretty sure we'll do the nomination and give the county one of them, if either Tim or Babu Owino, from the party position. That's the other guy, the current governor is from UDA, and we are the majority ODM party in the assembly. But at some point we feel like, are they doing proper oversight? I'm talking as Nairobian now. Are they doing proper oversight to the governor? To the governor? Or what's happening? Are they answerable? Are they answerable to their constituents on what is happening?
Do you ever question them?
Today I was with my MC and we sat down on Anthony Marago, and he was also giving me an overview of things that are happening. And I'll tell you, even the MCs themselves, some of them are so dissatisfied on how the executive part of government of Nairobi, of county government of Nairobi is doing their things. I'll tell you that at some point, they are not even like I think for the past 2 years we don't have the county bursary. Those are some things we are asking. Why is the governor holding this money? And for that, where does he now take this money to?
Dish in a county
aingi bro. Tusidanganyane na machapati nini?
Chapati milioni moja, chapo milioni zinakaa. So it's not working. To you it's not working.
It's not working, and even I'll tell you, even from some number of MCs in the Nairobi, if it's not working.
Is impeachment an option? ODM has senator, ODM has women rep, ODM has MCAs. And it is not working.
It's not working.
Why is
the impeachment? I may not talk about that. I may not talk about the impeachment, if it can be an option or not. I may not talk about that. I reserve my reservation on that, because again, if we have the leadership, yes, there's a time that I think it was threatened for impeachment and so on. We remember.
And then the things were calmed down very fast. We saw a press briefing by night, and all the jitters disappeared.
There are things that maybe I may not address at my capacity today.
But there's dissatisfaction in Nairobi. It is not working.
I agree.
You agree?
Even in the country,
it is not working.
Even in the country, not only Nairobi, things are not working.
Things are not working.
You know, at some point, when we talk about the party position, they now come talk on the governance and service delivery. We have been receiving very little. I think in 2 years, let me talk about this on 2 countries. Our country, Kenya, when Kibaki came in, we saw in 100 days what he was doing, because alingia na mpango, he had a plan, and then he had a team which was ready to deliver. As we've been reading it in history, I think then I was very young. And then I can give a good example of good captain not Thomas, but Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. In the short time that he has been in office, we have seen the things he has been doing.
Very, very big.
We can also just come here to Tanzania. When Magufuli came in the office, in that short time, he had a plan. So in as much that maybe want to say in audience this side and so on, there are things, Perry and Alan, which are not working. And that's why hapa nimesema nitarudia tena 2027 we'll have to look at that scorecard.
Accountability.
We're on the street now. We never left the street that we were cowards, but we left the street because we are peaceful. We are not cowards. Being peaceful means that we have the capability and capacity of causing mutiny anytime. So we call it off and say maybe we'll come back later. But again, we need to protest. Ruto must go as they put it. If he must go, he'll have to go. 2032 or 2027. I think the day will not be there forever.
If you must go, you must go.
You must go. You have
If you must stay, you must. Now let me ask you.
Not stay
generally, aside from politics, we aim to get to a number of other countries, in terms of infrastructure, sports, and everything. I must say, Kenya is one of those countries. I know weekend is coming up. People watch a lot of sports, and then, what is your feeling? Do you think as a country we are doing enough to boost other sectors of this country, be it agricultural, sports, infrastructure? Are we doing enough as a country?
Perry, let me start with the sport. Then we had the FKF, which was led by Nick Mwendwa. But when Nick left, today you have Hussein and Marega, and I'm pretty sure this team is promising. We have seen during the Harambee Stars game.
That is in terms of football.
On football, football. And doing the Harambee Stars and using mashemeji. We have seen Wakenya wanapenda ball na wamerudi kiwanjani, and it's a good show that this team, and again we also had the report that under 20 are going to have a game. I think the other itakuwa lini?
That is on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, and we have seen the preparation. It gives us hope.
There's a game that is on tomorrow. That is at 17 for girls. The senior. They both have a game on Friday. They also have a game still in Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Game on Monday. On Monday, the girls, the under 17 girls will be having. Then on Tuesday, the mature, the senior team,
mature.
Yes. Let me call them mature. Then the under 17 boys will also be having a match, of which
Then under
I'll say the under 17 girls have done the best to put Kenya
to the map.
Especially
World Cup.
winning the home and away against Uganda,
Yeah.
then them going to the World Cup. So we are hoping that they'll be in the next World Cup again. The under 17 boys, it's the future team for now. For
under 17, under 20.
I'm not quite sure which under.
That's under 17. Okay, you can call them under 20. It's still okay. It's still okay. No,
They're the same boys. That is good.
More or less, yeah.
That is good.
They play.
Like, we are looking onto them as the future Harambee stars that will shake the world.
But what is your feeling in terms of are we doing enough sports?
Okay, I think for our office sana.
Okay, you focus on football.
I'm just saying football.
Okay,
because that's the measure of many people have football.
Okay.
Athlete, you have been performing.
Okay.
Me and the bowler, I'm a player. Yes.
Oh wow.
Me and
Okay.
I'm a player. I also play racket. So that is badminton.
Okay.
And little chess. But as a country, I think football as for a long time was neglected, and that's why I don't want to talk about these other ones because like athlete, we have been performing.
Have we though?
Rugby again.
Olympics.
Rugby again, I think.
Rugby they've improved. The ladies, I've seen the ladies.
If the ladies will perform vizuri, hizi pia tumeona our match pale.
And ni under 15. Ni 15 aside amekuwa ni 7.
Hata even our team though we had little mistakes, but
some
the team's doing good
and challenges leadership.
So me so far so good. I trust the leadership on our sport. Though umeniuliza sectors zingine. Nitakuja kwa labor.
But we wanna focus on football. In terms of sports, you spoke
no,
of
that
football.
I was saying that was like I had to stay
Okay,
an example.
So you in a come up.
In a
coming up, okay.
Because I was coming to labor as a country in another sector. That's why we are also performing poorly. As a country, we export labor back like slavery. Where Dr. Alfred Mutua, where he sits, then you are taking young people out of the country.
People were interviewed.
Oh my God.
Saudi Arabia, you know?
I feel bad. Like, does it make sense?
Well, of course, it doesn't make any sense. Before you answer that, the same from the UDA, whatever they were promising us, they never promised us that they'll export jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they export us to go get jobs. They said they will create jobs
at home. So you see, when it comes to labor is this automatically it's now attached to industrialization and agriculture, because immediately you take the young energy out from the center
and the
of the economy,
as well,
center of the economy. Obviously, we're going to affect many sectors. That's why I've come to that one direct on labor, because a country that exports labor takes their young people out of that country, the industrialization is affected, agricultural sector is affected,
and our professionals
are affected, because this guy is an engineer, unampeleka pale kama nani. Like seriously, hotel waiter. So this one again, our population is threatened as well, because nani ataza kitu ya kwanza na kitu ya pili, hao watu wako hapa kwa inchi watawa lini? So obvious sasa kwenda kwa huku Saudi Arabia kwa kukupea waongi, si ndio? Sasa wacheze huko, wacheze home. So that is one. So on the labor, we are performing we're performing poorly. That's worse. And then which other sector industrialization? Where it's also unfortunate, and let me use the one that President used the other day in Madari when we talk about chapati. In a country as Kenya, agricultural country, agriculture is our backbone, backbone of our economy. When I was in primary, we taught that. Only to date. So instead of the head of state addressing the wheat farmers, is addressing the chapati rollers. The final product. So unfortunate. So our agricultural sector, the coffee farmers are crying. The other day, the sugarcane farmers, I'm from the sugar belt by the way, we no longer see the films. I know we are exporting a lot of sugar and repacking them. That's the reality. Let's not lie to ourselves.
I see Mumia's sugar on the shelves, but the factory is not there. And there's keps. So I asked myself, what is keps? So what is keps doing? Because I'm seeing packaging from a factory that is not running.
That is why I wanted to come and ask you the kind of question as we seal it. You said you're a politician.
He is a politician.
What's the difference between a politician and a leader?
We have leaders who are politicians, and we have politicians who are not leaders.
You've not defined.
No, his
version. Let him.
No, Alan nataka kusikia kitu inampendeza.
Let us allow OYIE. Let him speak his. Wacha tuambie version yake.
Version yangu. A politician can be a leader. Acha nianze hivyo, mtanisikiza tu. A politician can be a leader, and a leader may not be a politician. And I may also use maybe examples for me to have a better definition of it. I don't want to use a lot of words around it. Okay. Let me use a country, a president, here at home or outside. Give me. At home or outside the country. Let me use at home.
In which context?
Leadership, a leader who's a politician, and a politician can be a leader.
You've not defined what's leadership.
No, and I've said.
That's why he wants to use examples.
I've said I want to use example for our viewers. I don't want to use a lot of English. Let me use at home. Let me use at home.
Oh, use at home.
Let me use governor. Wow.
You are governor from Homa Bay.
I don't want to use that. No, I don't use Babuina as well. I want to use governor.
Use former governor. This guy like Lonyangapu.
Kijana nono round. Anaitwa nani?
Which county?
No, Kangata wa Mabarua. Let me use Kangata. Irungu Kangata. Irungu Kangata to me is a leader who's made a politician, and we can see what it's doing. In fact, it's a good example that we ought to even use. Instead of using Traore there, we use Governor Kangata. In 2 years, what he has done for Watua? Muranga. That if you have a good leader, you can have the services delivered. So that is a leader. A politician is our president.
But he's the leader of the country. He's the leader of the country. He's the leader of the country. You see, he's the leader of the country.
So I was putting it. Let me use another example. Basi hiyo itachanganya watu. Sasa Kangata itaeleweka. A leader who is a politician, Kangata, what he has done. In fact, another good one is Governor Paranya then. No, I then. Was...
You said then.
No, Governor, it's not a governor. Governor Paranya then in Kakamega, how he performed the first phases of the first 10 years of the devolution. How Kakamega was and what he did then. He was a leader in that country that people felt what he did. If you compare with now my governor then, Awiti, Jamawego, the one who was dancing.
Cyprian Awiti.
Yeah. Awiti was good on the mic, will dance, make people laugh, but on delivery as a leader, no. Now let me define it in Kizungu. Vitu mingi. Kizungu, in terms.
Yes, sir. Tell us. Tell us.
A leader influences people to do the right things and influences people to influence watu to do the right thing or show the way for the people. When Musa led the Israelites, he was leading them. He was not governing them. You get? He was leading them into a promised land. And that's what a leader is. A leader leads and shows people, inspires them, even when they're turning against you at some point. You remember when they turned against Musa? Yes. It just still had a way of consolidating the Israelites that I'm going to lead you into that promised land.
Yeah.
He was resilient with them. He could persevere the hardship that was going through just for them. A politician now is this person, I don't know how I can put it, because a politician can be a leader, but a leader may fail to be a politician, or a politician may fail to be a leader. You get? A politician may fail to be a leader.
That I agree.
A politician may fail.
In Kenya, we have many politicians who are not leaders. Yes,
exactly.
I agree.
I don't know if it will be bad if I use an example of someone.
It's your opinion. It's your opinion.
So maybe I can use an example of a politician who is not a leader. Karen Nyamu. Karen Nyamu is one of the worst that we have ever had.
Please also add a man for the sake of gender balance. For the sake of gender balance.
Karen Nyamu, even a recent sentiment wakiwa pale na rais, like unauliza uni kiongozi aina gani. So that's a politician. Anaongea kwa mic nini and so on, influence, but the politician may influence, yes,
but there's no leadership. There's no leadership.
And then leadership again at some point to me I feel is chosen by God. But again, we ask ourselves, did God choose the wrong leaders? He did at some point.
I think in Kenya, the greatest challenge is when you say leadership, people only see it political. No. But you see, leadership can be political or corporate.
Oh, exactly.
And you see why we're also suffering is the way you've said it. We bestow leadership onto politicians, and they end up not delivering. So we are complaining because we bestowed leadership onto people who are politicking. You see, a leader can be a politician, as you've put it, but a politician cannot be a leader. And so because we've put leadership onto politicians, then they end up putting their cronies at corporate level. And that is why even our parastatals and other entities are not working in this country, because I've also seen the president revoking KCC board. Look at all the parastatals. You see, the maize boards. All these parastatals we have are not working because we have people who are not leaders, but they were put there by their political cronies, whom Kenyans assumed to be leaders, and that is the challenge.
And again, they're not put there on merit.
And that is what we say. They are the wrong people on the right seats, or the right people on the wrong seats, because there is the issue of awarding. So we are agreeing that in Kenya, generally, we have very few leaders and very many politicians.
True.
So Kenyans, when it comes to 2027 elections, then we need to put leaders, not
into the offices.
And on the same vibe now, as we are winding up, what would be your word, your last word?
My last word. I just want to talk to my generation that I love how we have our political consciousness as a generation. Though we are being quoted Gen Z, yes, but there are those who are millennials, there are those who are Gen Zs, but I think today Gen Z is not on edge. I think it should be on a belief. My peers and my generation, we need to consolidate ourselves properly and at least join a political party. For those who are looking forward to be elected 2027, we can't be elected on independent ticket. It's very expensive, I'll tell you. And then again, maybe you have a party, it gives you a little leeway, maybe some sponsorship and so on. It becomes very easy. But again, align yourself with the party that you believe in, not just any other party. That is one to my generation. Second, in 2027, young people, we are only 2 years shy away from election. We must do things right, even in the absence of anybody watching over you. And 2027 will be on the ballot. There are those who are on the ballot to be elected, but there are those, all of us will be on the ballot to elect leaders. We know that voter apathy maybe was there in 2022, but looking forward for 2027.
Will it happen again?
I'm pretty sure it will not happen. These young people will come out to vote. But now to vote who? These young people must. If we can't join a political party today, registering political party again in the country, it has been done deliberately by the state. It's very difficult and expensive. So we were saying then to occupy. I'll tell you, in the ODM where we are the minority, but outside here we are the majority. If today we could have joined that ODM youth and ODM party, we can turn things right from within. That's my thought. If you have numbers are strength. If you have numbers in there, we can do things greatly right way. And we're occupying. We never stopped occupying. Today we need to occupy these political parties and own the narrative and influence the policies, influence the ideologies of those parties. The ones which are wrong we can discard.
Thank you, Jared. That was really good. I believe next time I would really love to hear your thoughts on the reconstitution of IEBC. Where we've had a lot of Gen Z. I have seen all the people who are being fronted there.
In fact, let me tell you, Perry, I think I'm among the few. I think I've been on the forefront still, even when I'm in the ODM, but as people put it, agitating for young people to be commissioners. Because again, we must oversee how these elections are going to be run. We said yes, they were saying for the chair, the 35 years experience on that locks you automatically as a young person. But we can have a young person as a commissioner. But from our agitation that we had one man who was shortlisted to be a commissioner. We wait to see for his interview. We are so full that we will be given that chance to be among the commissioners for the IEBC. We are on the radar. Tuko macho sana, tunaangalia kila mahali. So even in the political parties, nikisema pale nyuma, ukiingia pale seti sasa wewe umenyamazishwa, you can still talk and push the agenda of your generation. Those people have done their part. I don't want to blame that young, those old people. I just want to do my part.
Okay.
I want to live my purpose.
Okay. Thank you.
It's amazing that we've heard from you, and this is not the last time we'll be having you here, because the things we've not talked about today, just matter of we have to wachia wale wasituuze vitu mbili tatu hapa tuone venye mambo itaenda. So a commercial break, but doesn't mean that bro. Okay, thank you so much, Jared.
Oh yeah, ODM Youth League.
Thank you so much, Jared. Oh yeah, the ODM Youth League, that is nationwide. ODM Youth League, and aspiring MCA or
not there, aspiring ODM Youth League leadership.
Okay.
Mimi nataka tujenge hiyo chama, vijana waongee pale chama, alafu tusema kwenda mahali sasa tukiamua penye tunaenda tuko na force but tuko na numbers.
Okay, we wish you all the best.
Yeah, we wish you all the best.
Wish you all the best.
We're glad to have you now. Even before you have you as once you become the youth league leader and all that, we still have you before you get to that.
I'll be there.
We look forward to more conversations.
I'll be here.
We look forward to that passion. That passion.
We have the fire in you.
I want to make this a home.
We want you to communicate to Kenyans.
Yeah.
We want you to tell Kenyans what they're supposed to do. And for now, we call it not the end, but a break. Until next time we meet, same place, same time. Kindly make sure you subscribe and share this. Let every person outside there get it right. And that is why we're here. How can you know unless we explain these things to you? And we always bring the best of the best to make sure that they're giving you facts. We don't talk about myths. No, we don't talk about myths. We talk about facts. Okay, so that is it for today. Until next time we meet.
Again.
Bye.
Bye.